Hi, and welcome to the video version of This Garden is Illegal. I'm your host, Hannah. Today we're going to be doing a short how-to video on how to string up tomato plants. What you will need for this project are 2 wooden posts, an electrical conduit, some twine, and some tomato plants. A spousal unit to do all the work is particularly helpful if you happen to have one handy. The first thing to do is put the posts into the ground. The spousal unit opted to drive the posts into the ground as opposed to digging a deep hole. As he was doing the work, I let him make that decision, but you can do whatever suits you best. Here we are sharpening the end of the post so that it goes into the ground easier. Once you have the post all ready to go, you can drive it into the ground. The spousal unit opted to use the blunt side of an axe to accomplish this task. This probably goes against all safety standards and OSHA best practices, so if I were you, I would not try this particular method at home. Instead, try using a sledgehammer. There's less chance of accidentally damaging an appendage this way. If you would like, and if you have raised beds, you can use screws to secure the posts to the bed to ensure that the posts don't shift later on. Once the posts are in place, you will need to drill some holes for the electrical conduit. Drill a hole at the desired height at the top of each of the poles. Try to make sure that the holes are even with each other. Then all you need to do is push the electrical conduit through the holes. If you did the holes evenly, then the poles will slide right through. If not, then you may want to get something to beat on the end of the conduit until it goes through. Next, you need to take steps to make sure that the conduit will not slip out of place. You can do this by drilling a hole through the conduit, or you could use a highly unsafe axe again to try to make the hole. I think in the end you'll find that the drill will get you the best results. Once you have drilled a hole in each outside post end of the conduit, place a nail into each hole. This will ensure that the conduit does not shift throughout the season. Once all the hard work is done, send the spousal unit away. Now what you'll need to do is tie the twine to the electrical conduit. Unroll enough twine so that the twine touches the ground on either side of the conduit with at least 5 inches of twine to spare. Throw the twine over the electrical conduit. Make sure that each side is even, and then knot the twine around the electrical conduit. Repeat this process all the way down the conduit. The twine should be spaced about 18 inches apart for tomatoes. Once your twine is in place, plant your tomatoes at the same spacing as the twine above. Take the twine and tie it loosely to the base of the tomato plant. Remember that you want to give the stem of the tomato room to grow. Also, try to keep the twine between the tomato and the conduit as taut as possible. Once the twine is tied to the base of the tomato, simply and gently twist the tomato plant around the twine. If you find that the tied twine at the bottom of the tomato plant twists while you're trying to do this, pinch the base of the tomato and the knotted twine gently to keep it from moving while you're twisting the tomato plant around the twine above. Do this with each of the tomatoes you plan to grow using this method. You will need to check your tomatoes every few days after this and continue to twist them around the twine as they grow. And that's it. You now have strung up tomatoes. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation by This Garden is Illegal. I look forward to producing more, and I hope that you'll be stopping by to find out how to do other things in the garden. Thanks.